Hey, this is Doug from My Life's Journeys, and welcome to Trip Clips for September 25, 2019. Uh, Welcome to the channel. Uh, Today's news, actually, news that was released yesterday. I just wanted to absorb it and be able to get through it a little bit before I brought it to you. For a change, good news on a change to a frequent flyer program. Believe it or not, when do we see that? We're always hearing about downgrades and devaluation and that sort of thing. Now, this time, something positive, or at least something that I perceive as positive. So let me take you through it. United Airlines Mileage Plus program made some changes to their upgrade program for higher tier frequent flyers. And so these would be Platinum, 1K, and Global Services people. Platinum requires 75,000 qualifying miles in a year, 1K 100,000, and then Global Services need 100,000, and they got to spend a whole pile of money. From what I've heard, the cutoff in annual spend is something like $45,000 or $50,000, based on the last things that I read. Anyway, these categories of frequent flyers have eligibility for, under the current program, what they call regional premier upgrades and global premier upgrades. And so I'll refer to those as RPUs and GPUs. So Platinums would get 2 RPUs each year upon qualifying. As one gets through Platinum and to 1K and above, there's another 2 RPUs rather, and 6 GPUs. These, effective December 4th, are now going to be converted to a point system, where you get 20 points for an RPU, 40 points for a GPU. And this is going to create a lot more flexibility. Let me go back for a second and take you to what RPUs and GPUs were good for. RPUs, again, regional premier upgrade, usually would give you what you would need for more of a domestic U.S. Upgrade for your entire one-way journey. And in some circumstances, could even get you as far as Hawaii. GPUs, anywhere in the globe. So you could use a GPU like an RPU for a domestic upgrade, or you could use it for international, and I'll call it Polaris class. I'm having a bit of trouble tripping over my words tonight. But anyway, so international business class, provided you purchased a minimum qualifying fare class. So that would mean you couldn't use your GPU with a discount economy class ticket. So here's some of the things that are going to change once it's on a point basis. Probably the biggest thing is flexibility. Now, if you had a GPU and you wanted to use it for a domestic flight, you'd use an entire GPU. That domestic flight's going to be 20 points to be able to upgrade. So now that GPU is worth 40 points, and so you can do that domestic upgrade twice instead of just using one instrument. And so that's one of the great pieces of flexibility, because you can cater to what your flying pattern is. And so for people that are more predominantly domestic flyers, you've got a lot more upgrade usage from that. Now, the one thing I will add is this whole program does not change the complimentary premier upgrades, which allows frequent flyers to, if there's an available first class or business class seat, United will upgrade people based on status and fare class, and there's like a whole formula that goes on for that. So that's still going to be in place, but this gives a lot more flexibility. And so there's different point tiers for different lengths of flights or distance of flights, and so there's going to be sort of the move from on an international flight from economy to premium economy, which is a premium plus, and then to Polaris. And so what I think is really cool, partly, is you're going to be able to buy a discount economy ticket, you're just going to have to use more than 40 points, but you'll be able to upgrade that discount economy ticket into a full business class seat, which is kind of a cool thing. It's a lot more flexibility, again, depending on flying patterns, how you want to do things, etc. For me, sometimes when I'm not, when I've got to pay for it myself and it's business travel, I don't mind the idea maybe of, in the right circumstances, paying less, using more points to upgrade. I'll have to play that out. One of the things I do really like in this reclassification is what's being zoned as domestic. And I will go to Manila in the Philippines occasionally. And as I fly United, it's, from continental U.S. to Hawaii, to Guam, and then on to Manila. It used to be that the Honolulu Guam portion required a GPU. Based on the map and the way I was reading it, it appears that that's still going to be only now a 20 point segment. So you can do what this, if I've got this right, it's going to allow one to, and I start in Toronto, so go from Toronto to say San Francisco, to Honolulu, to Guam, to Manila, all on 20 points. So if I'm reading that right, that's like a huge benefit, and a really amazing thing. The other thing that's kind of cool, there's two more things I want to hit before this is done. One is you don't lose your points, or the points aren't deducted from your account, for lack of a better way to describe it, until your upgrade is actually awarded. And so this means, currently, if you wanted to apply an RPU or a GPU to a flight, the instrument was taken out of your account the minute you requested the upgrade, and it's gone. You may never get the upgrade, but it's sort of frozen, and you can't use that for something else. Now what you're going to be able to do is put in the requests. You don't know if you're going to get them, but you're not going to get the points deducted from your account until you actually get it. So it allows you to have a lot more requests out there and have a much greater chance of actually using all of your points before the end of the year. So that's one of the really cool things. The second piece that goes along with it is you're only going to have points deducted if you've got a multi-segment flight. You're only going to get points deducted for the highest segment requirement in that flight that's actually awarded, and where you actually get an upgrade. And the reason why that's good is let's say you've got a domestic segment and then an international segment. Domestic segment is going to take 20 points. International is going to take 40 points. What would happen right now is you'd apply a GPU because it's got an international thing, so you need a global upgrade. But you could end up getting upgraded only on the domestic segment, and you'd lose your GPU, which, if we translate that into the new world, domestic segment only would cost you 20 of the 40-point equivalent of a GPU. If you get the domestic segment and then the international segment, it would be 40 points. So you're just a lot better off. And so, running through that those are just some quick highlights. I'm going to leave down in the description a link to United's description of all of this. Take a look at it, go through it, study it, see whether there's better benefit for you. Because as I said, flying styles differ. Flying patterns differ for different people. For places I go and for the way I like to do things, this is a great upside for me. At least in the short run, until they decide that they're gonna, do like Air Canada did, and that was give fewer upgrade instruments and require more credits to do a particular upgrade, and so that kind of messed things up for me a few years ago. So hopefully United doesn't go down that path in the future, but if they do, they do. So anyway, for now, really positive, great news, really happy to hear it. So hopefully I brought you some good perspective on it, and you appreciated that. And so if you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. Would really appreciate it. Give this video a thumbs up. And please leave any comments. We'd really love to hear what you have to say, what your thoughts are on it. Be a great exchange for the community. So thanks very much for watching. Really appreciate it. Have a great day, and may all your life's journeys be everything you dreamed of.